Now the purple spread from horizon to horizon, and the stars that had clustered in the east were fading with the early light of the rising moon. The swells lengthened even more, so that the dory rocked up and down as gently as it ever might, and if it had not been for the farmhouse lights on the shoreline, Turner would have hardly been able to tell that the dory was moving at all. He was not afraid, and was surprised to find that he wasn't. As long as he could keep the shoreline lights from dipping under the waves, he knew that he was in sight of shore, and he knew that the tide would have to stop flowing sometime and head back up the new meadows. Already, he could sense it weakening when he dipped the oars into the water. He could even make some headway into the shore before his tired arms gave out, and he was pulled back to where he had started. He was thirsty and more than a little hungry, but without the panic of hopelessness. If only Lizzie were awake, this would be something out of a dream, something that, had he known he might do it, he would have longed for. But when he looked at Lizzie, there was a sickening tug down deep in his gut. It was getting harder and harder to get her to keep her eyes even half open, and though the bleeding from the wound had stopped, she seemed to be fading from him. He shipped the oars and turned to face her. "Lizzie? Lizzie Bright?" He shook her by the knee. "Lizzie? We almost there?" "Almost." "Turner?" she asked. "Yes." "You ever row a boat before?" Turner hesitated. He wondered if being on the swan boats in the public garden counted, and figured that it probably didn't. "Not hardly." "Ever in your whole life?" "Not until today." "I thought so." "Keep your eyes open, Lizzie." Turner went back to the oars, turned the bow toward shore, it wasn't hard in the long swells, and tried to row in again. He kept his strokes slow and long, and though, when he finally turned his head, it seemed the shore lights were not much nearer, they were a little nearer, and he held to the pace until his muscles buckled, and he shipped the oars and watched the lights very slowly withdraw again. And that was when he first heard the water ripping near him. The moon had roused herself fully out of the sea and was tossing her silver bedclothes all around. Turner was sure that in that light he should have been able to make out any rocks, but he couldn't see anything breaking the surface. He listened, not moving, and heard the ripping again, but behind him this time, and closer to shore, and ahead of him, one after another. In the moonlight, he saw silver spray burst up into the air, a shower of diamond dust. Then another, and another almost beside the boat, so that he could feel the spray of it against his face, and the dory rocked to the rhythm of the new swells as a great presence broke the surface of the sea, and Turner knew or felt the vastness of Wales.